What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Real Booty Bandit, back for another video. So, love is a emotion that all of us is going to feel as being a human. You will develop a love for a particular hobby. You may develop love for some sort of passion that you accumulate. You may develop love for certain people or even yourself, etc., etc. And there's nothing wrong with loving something. And as a matter of fact, you can't really avoid that feeling of loving something, because if you just like something that much, it will develop into a love, right? So, in regards to human interactions, try your best to never fall in love with a single human being. I'm not saying that you can never have love for somebody, but never fall in love with someone. There's a difference between the two. Loving someone is meaning, that you care about them, but you're not head over heels about them. Like, you still love them, you still care about them and stuff like that, but you are not head over heels, and you're not head over heels about this particular person or people. Never fall in love with people like this. I can see falling in love with your child, and I mean not in a romantic way, obviously, but when it comes to yeah, man, just don't do that, because I've noticed that a lot of times when a person falls in love with someone, and when that other person realizes that other person has fallen in love with them, the other person starts to take them for granted. They start to be like, oh, this man's in love with me. This girl's in love with me. Okay. I can just do whatever I want, and they ain't gonna say nothing about it because they're in love with me. It's a lot of people, when they see that, they start to realize, I can do whatever I want. I could cheat, I could do this, I could disrespect her, I could disrespect him, I could do this, I could do all of that because this person is in love with me. They're gonna stay no matter what I do. So, which it sucks that people do this, because me personally, I wouldn't do this. If there's a person that's in love with me, I'm not gonna do all that. Well, I'll have to feel the same way about them, obviously. Well, no, that don't matter either, because I ain't gonna treat no one wrong. You know what I'm saying? Unless that motherfucker deserves it. But yeah, man. Yeah. Once a lot of people, once they realize that, they start misbehaving, because they know, oh, you ain't going nowhere. Most people only behave when there's a threat of you leaving. That's the only time that they behave, when there's a threat. A lot of females, like a lot of women, if they feel like they got you, oh yeah, I got them now. When they feel like there's no threat of you leaving, or there's no threat of other women, a lot of them start to misbehave, because they know that they have no competition, or they have no threat of you leaving, right? There's no threat. Men, if a man has no threat of you leaving, or he sees that, there ain't no other man trying to get at you, then he may start to misbehave because he knows that you're not going nowhere. So even though it sucks you got to do this, but everyone that you encounter, you should always let them know, or let them know, or somehow let them know in some way, form, or fashion, that if you start to misbehave too much, that you're gone, and that will get their act right. Or if not, hey, you'll still be gone. You know what I'm saying? So never fall in love with someone, because another thing about falling in love with somebody is you start to ignore all of their misbehavior. You start to ignore the whether it's verbal, physical, or sexual abuse, whichever one applies to you or whatever else, or whatever has applied to certain people. You start to ignore that because your love is too strong and you are ignoring all of the bullshit that they're doing. So never fall in love with somebody. Just never do that. I know it's hard, but just don't do that. I don't care if it's been 10 years. Don't do it. Right? I'm not saying that you can't have love for someone, because everyone will have love. If you are around somebody long enough and you like them that much, that will turn into a love. So I'm not saying, but just don't let your love make you blind to misbehavior and to bullshit that some people will do the moment they find out that you're in love with them. That's what it is. It's crazy how people change like that. When you first meet a motherfucker, they are on their P's and Q's. Once you get comfortable with them, that's when they start to switch up. That's shit I hate. Act the same way when I met you. I don't care if it's been 20 years. You need to still act like that. That's the person that I wanted. I don't want no person switching up. When I met you, you was nice, sweet. You was this, and that. Keep that up. I don't want it to be, after 2 years, now she started acting like this. Now she started doing that. After 5 years, now she was acting good for a whole year. Now, after 5 years, now she acting like, nah, man, nope. We ain't doing that over here. Keep that same energy. Right? Fuck all that honeymoon phase. Oh, you don't. Nah, fuck that. There's a lot of people in this world switch up. That's the shit I hate. People switch up on people, bro. Keep that same energy. If that's what I like from you, you need to keep on doing that. No, I got time for people switching up. Yeah, just don't fall in love with people. It's not really worth giving someone your heart and emotions to that high degree. Just don't. You can't trust nobody with your heart to that level. Honestly, I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend doing that with anybody. If I'm being straight up with you, just don't do it at all. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. I'm out.